Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we're checking out the Colbert. It's a legendary tier French cruiser, Lemon, running the show. Here we got Mimbelli, Reload, and Delightful reduces the time that you have expanded. Uh, Detection upon firing your guns with a little bit of an accuracy boost. Crash Domination Mode will be the game here. Before we jump into it, we're in the midst of our 25,000 subscriber giveaways. Appreciate all the support for the channel here, guys. So throughout this week, both on this channel, Tbull, and the new shorter clips video called Bull Bites, the channel. That link's in the description if you're not familiar with that one. There's going to be giveaways going on primarily in the videos, so be watching the videos this week, but maybe even on the community tab section is also possible. So stay tuned for both channels. This video, we got a tier 4 premium, right? So if it's available in the store currently, you'll be able to pick that. Whoever wins, I'll work out which ship you want. So stay tuned for if I'm replying to your comments here. But that'll be toward the end of the week. But what we need you to do, number one, be subscribed. These contests are for subscribers of the particular channel that the giveaway is appearing on. Like this video, and then in the comments, let me know which console you're on and your screen name. And then if you win, I'll reply to your comment. And we'll figure out what ship you're going for. So, good luck with that one. Colbert, moving in here on C. We got Destroyer, we got Battleship Sport. So, Colbert is an interesting ship here. Some games you're going to get 500 hits with like 30,000 damage. Some games you're going to get massive damage like we're going to get in this one. So, it depends on what armor schemes you're shooting at. Depends on where you're hitting in the ship. You really got to be having your aim dialed in with this one. We initially were playing Rue just for the survivability aspect. I had a couple people recommend Lemon for me, and that's been working out better. Lemon, you can boost the fire chance quite a bit, and you can even enhance the AP damage and penetration in slot 3, which is good as well. We'll see some broadside AP shots in this game as well. But initially I was concerned with Lemon because his mobility is a little janky compared to Rue, of course. But if you look at the Colbert itself, the rudder shift, the turn circle, outstanding to begin with. We go ahead and take the gearing off the board there, sneaking those shots over that little ridge. And the Destroyer's off the board, 40,000 damage, not even 2 minutes into the game, counting deployment time as well. So this thing can pump out the damage, certainly. But getting back to the builds, I think the ship is nimble enough that going all in on Lemon is a good option. So still playing around with the build, but you saw what we have currently. It's a little bit more offensive focus, just trying to max the damage per minute and maybe work on the detection after firing guns as well. So here we go, here Yamato, and we're playing this thing kind of like the Atlanta. And why is that? Well, it's got the same caliber guns as Atlanta, 127 millimeters, pretty low. I mean, if we're comparing it to the WoWsL 152, same thing with the Minotaur. So smaller calibers with that. And again, if these battleships are angled, well, we're going to have to shoot HE, but we're probably not going to be getting a lot of damage on them. If they're going to be broadside, sure, we can try and get some fires as we did there, but then we switch over to the AP. And keep an eye on the damage values. We're going to be lining up both these battleships here. And again, we'll be kind of doing the old cruiser surprise, where we try and set them on fire, get that passive damage burning in the background. And then as long as they're broadside, we'll just keep whacking them with the AP, and we're going to see values here in the sequence that are 3,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 damage per pull of the trigger. And by the way, those shots are coming out every 2.6 seconds on this build. No matter how you set it up, it's going to be pumping out the damage very rapidly. There's no doubt about it. So very dangerous when the shots are landing, but it's kind of a high risk, high reward type of a ship. Colbert, like the Minotaur, just needs to be eliminated upon sight. If you got it spotted, go ahead and shoot it. There's no excuse here. We're absolutely just melting that Yamato up to just shy of 80k, and sure, the Conqueror. Okay, we can fire an HE just to see what's going on here. He's already on fire though, so we might as well. I don't think it's hard fire on that ship, but he's already experiencing multiple ways to accrue damage here, and we're just going to go ahead and pepper that superstructure. So you got to really be trying to hit those superstructure shots. Battleships like the Soviets typically have very small superstructure. Some of those, they can be hard to hit. Okay, and if they got really strong deck armor that got strong plate in on the sides, well, then you're not going to be doing the damage with the AP, but it's worth trying. You know, just get a few salvos out there, see what kind of damage values you're getting. You can see we got a lot of shatters on those shot reports, but we also got a lot of damage. Okay, so the game's not even 5 minutes over yet. We're already at 110,000 damage, and basically that's just because we've gotten access to these broadsides. Okay, I've played, you know, like we were saying earlier, full-length games where you get hundreds and hundreds of hits and basically no damage whatsoever. Take a look at these time to target, though. Some people like to set up all their cruisers for max range. I don't do max range on my American lights. The British lights, certainly not this thing. When the time to target, if you aim in on the ship, if we had them selected, it says 10 seconds, 13 seconds. I think 13 or 14 seconds is max range shots on these things. If you're hitting something 14 seconds after you fire the gun, either it's sitting completely still or it's sailing in a very straight line. Anyone trying to dodge at all, you're not going to be hitting those shots very reliably unless you're a regular Houdini on guessing exactly their future pathing. Very difficult, though. So I would skip that. I would just go reload, or if you don't want to affect the turret verse, which is already outstanding, you can always throw the AA on there as well, but boosting the range, not really that great of an option in my opinion. Alright, so we got A, we got B. There's some challenges to B. In fact, B is currently contested. C has kind of been the fight we've been focused on over here, and here's another 14-kilometer Minotaur. Good luck hitting him. You know, if he's not doing a lot, we can hit him, and we can put out a lot of volume of damage here, certainly, so we can boost the odds by just sheer volume. Yes, but I'm just saying these are relatively difficult shots when it's 13 seconds to get down there. Yeah, he's got to be cooperating. But how do we get C here is the question that we were considering. Well, we got the Minotaur warded off, but we got Republic and another battleship. Looks like a legendary, probably a Yamato or whatever the hell it is behind him. Well, we got to be very careful pushing in here with the Colbert. The Colbert is one-shottable at all times, and we need to be utilizing island cover whenever possible. It's one of those ships that's, due to the fact that you need to be so careful with it, kind of like the Minotaur, you're a little team dependent on this thing, and anytime you're team dependent on legendary tier, that's a dubious proposition at best. It can be quite frustrating at times, but if people are spotting for you and you can utilize the island cover, well, these guys need to look out. Once again, we're getting access to broadside. Now these are long range shots, again 10 seconds down there, 13 kilometers away, but relatively easy. He's trying to slam on the brakes. He's trying to angle against whatever he's squaring up against right next to us, and that's fine. We got access to enough broadside here. Getting those fires going, and then alright, we got some fires on him. Let's go ahead and test the AP out. We'll keep an eye on it. Are we getting damage? Are we getting penetrations? If so, continue to fire. If not, okay, we better go back to the HE. He does use the damage control there, but now we're seeing the results finally. And again, 4,000 or 5,000 damage pretty much every 2.5 seconds here. Alright, we're going to keep putting that damage out until it stops producing. Okay, and once again, the damage, you can see that thing ticking up in the corner there. Very rapid decline of the health of the Republic here. And he tries to return some fire, and a nice hearty whack. That's what you got to do. Really, all you got to do, hit the Colbert maybe once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times. But then it should be sunk at that point in time. It's just not durable. HP, we got 36,100 here. Stalingrad, 65,000. Okay, so easily the lowest HP at the tier. You know, it just, you gotta fire at it. That's all there is to it. It doesn't have the smoke like the Minotaur, so if it's spotted, go ahead and shoot it. Can be a little dodgy at times, sure, but go ahead and do what you can do to get it off the board. So Colbert, this is not a ship that if someone comes up to me on the street and says, hey, $1 million if you go into legendary tier, pick any ship you want, you win the next game, boom, transfer it to your bank account. I'm not going to pick the Colbert just because it's not the most reliable. Okay, here we're seeing, and by the way, the damage is still coming. Here we're seeing when the enemy is cooperating. Okay, we're getting the broadsides. We got the position where we got access to those. But if everyone's entrenched, or if you got guys that aren't spotting, they're just sitting in a cloud buffing their Dewey, that adds to the difficulty and can diminish the results pretty quickly. Looks like everybody on the team is getting a little frustrated with the spotting. Oh no, that's actually the red team not getting frustrated. So he's not spotting. Obviously he's getting attacked though. Minotaur And once again, 12.5 seconds downrange. So we'll do what we can do here. He did let part of his crew off on the beach. Non-essentials, cooks, janitor staff, cleaning lady who wasn't supposed to be on the board, but they departed when she was doing some work in the back. And she got stuck on the ship. So they let her off on the beach, and we're going to go ahead and fire in there. Because he's just kind of drifting and dreaming back and forth, we can hit these shots. And we're getting some pretty good production. 18 full pens with 3 shatters on the Minotaur. So that's a nice juicy shot here. Yamato, though, he's the one who's angry. He's the one who can potentially sink us. And you can see here that the damage declines quite a bit when he's angling towards us. Well, we're lucky here if we're getting 500, 600, 700 per shot. And so we're more focused on maybe getting some fires in this instance. There, as long as we're hitting the superstructure, still getting some damage values. But the production goes down dramatically. So you got to be very careful at what you're shooting at. You got to be cognizant of what the results are and actively changing your aim point and which shell you're using depending on the situation. So, all right, so the Minotaur is the last guy here, and he's going to be firing here. Now, here's a tip. When you're firing in smoke, the faster you fire, the easier you are to hit, right? Because it's basically, imagine if it was just a non-stop machine gun type thing, you would see exactly where it's emanating at all times. If you fire once every 30 seconds, well, you better be paying attention. You better be able to aim at that spot very quickly. But Minotaur, very quick firing like we are here, and we're getting a lot of indication. Now, what we're doing is we're putting out this volume of fire, and then we're seeing where the explosions when the hits are, because that's the actual position of the ship. So we're just kind of putting down the fire here, seeing whenever there's an explosion. Okay, that's where the guy is. There's one right there, and we just need to aim at that point. All right, so still got a little bit of time to target here. Get back, the gearing says. Why would I get back? You kidding me? We're hunting Minotaur here, but that's when we're firing in the smoke. Be careful of that. Okay, if you're firing a lot of shots, you start getting hit. Stop shooting for a couple seconds. Figure out what's going on. Do I need to defend myself? Do I need to run? Here we got the gearing deploying smoke for us. I guess that's why he was probably telling us to get back. He's saying, hey, I got your back. Chill. We got this. Now, we weren't getting spotted either way, but fair enough. Appreciate the smoke there. We'll take what we get. And there's our boy, the Minotaur. Now, he gets spotted. I think the gearing got close enough to spot him, or someone hit him with some electronics, whatever it is. Boom, down he goes. So, that's a look at the Colbert for you guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, hey, consider subscribing. We got lots of World of Warships coming for you all the time. Questions, comments, leave them below. Love to hear from you guys, and we'll see y'all later. All right, peace.